Hey guys, Crewman here, and a few days ago I released a video basically showing you how to improve your chances of buying a 5090. With all the news that's released recently, it's probably going to be even harder to buy one, and I will release an update to that guide tomorrow, the day before the 5090 releases. But today, I want to talk about the RTX 5080, and I want to do a buying guide for this, as there were a lot of comments on my 5090 video. Hey Crew, what's your advice for buying a 5080? So in this video, I'm going to share that with you. And if you find this guide helpful, please like and subscribe. And I'll have more 5090 and 5080 content, as well as how to buy them throughout launch day and after launch day as well. I am pretty good at acquiring GPUs when a lot of other people cannot get them, and I want to share my tips with you guys today. While we don't know the performance of the RTX 5080 yet, we can assume it's somewhere between a 4080 Super and a 4090. Now, unfortunately, the reviews will go live at the same time as the GPUs can be purchased, so you're going to have to make your decision now, basically, on whether or not you want to buy an RTX 5080 or not. And this video assumes that you have decided that you are going to buy said RTX 5080. Now, I covered a lot of the basic rules that apply to all the websites on my RTX 5090 guide, which I'll link down below, but I'll summarize the really big ones here. First, you want to make sure you call your credit card company so that they don't decline a $1,000 plus purchase on a computer part. Second, you want to make sure all of your credit card info is preloaded into all the websites that you are going to attempt. And third, you want to block out probably 1 to 3 hours of your life on the 30th to attempt to get the card. Essentially, I'd probably block out 9 a.m. Eastern time to noon Eastern time. So basically the whole morning. The next thing I want to tell you is you guys need to show some restraint when purchasing an RTX 5080. I'm not sure you guys are going to want to hear this, but I would not spend over $1,200 on the RTX 5080. With the expected performance being much closer to an RTX 4080 Super rather than a 4090, I think it will limit the scalpability of these cards. And at 16 gigs of VRAM, which I told you guys you would come to appreciate around launch day, I have a video I did on that was quite provocative, and I didn't mean it to be. I'll have a link down below for that as well on my old channel. But like I said, I think the scalpability of these cards will be very low. So even if you do not have any luck securing one at the designated price range you want, I would come back, in a day or a week or even like 2-3 weeks, and I think your odds of getting a 5080 if you want one will be pretty high. I would kind of relate it to the RTX 4080 launch, where you couldn't really get them on launch day, and then the bottom fell out on the prices as scalpers realized they couldn't get any money for them and they got burned. But I really think that if you're fast and you're quick on the trigger, I think you have an honest shot at a 5080 on launch day. Okay, so if I was buying a 5080, this is what I would be targeting on launch day. The first is MSI.com. The first thing I want to point out is that they're going to have pre-orders for the 5090 at launch day, but you're not going to get them, the limited stock they have, till after the 6th of February. But they'll have 5080s. So a lot of people are probably going to go elsewhere rather than the MSI store for their 5090s because they're going to want them in hand right away for whatever reason. That would make me think that maybe you have a shot at the MSI store for the RTX 5080. Now, here are all the MSI prices, and I've seen all the models. They have no non-OC models, so there's a few of them that you can get between the $1,100 and $1,200 range. And frankly, the one that's on my radar is the Inspire, as that one is my favorite model. So if I was going to get a 5080, that is the model that I would personally buy if I couldn't get a Founders. So so the first website I would personally be targeting would be MSI.com. I would make an account, I'd preload all my information, and I would be ready to go at 8 a.m. sharp, and I would probably be targeting the Inspire. Because again, I think MSI had some bad press, and I think you might not have as many people on their website as you would with like a Best Buy or a Newegg or B&H. The next store I would go to is Zotac. Zotac is like the sleeper for me. Not as many people A, like Zotac, and B, go to Zotac anymore. And they have confirmed that they are releasing 5080s, and honestly, the one I'd probably go for is the Solid, as it's probably going to be the cheapest. So I would also be ready to get at Zotac, and the good thing about Zotac is sometimes they don't go live right away. Now, I would check them at 9 a.m., but sometimes they go live a little bit later, like 9:30, 10, 10:30, even 11 sometimes. So if you miss out on the first wave, you can use Zotac as your fallback. if they go live later. Now, obviously, if you want a Founders, the only place you can go is Best Buy. But even the 5080, I would assume the Founders is going to be botted. Honestly, it's going to be impossible because if you were a scalper, the 5080 is the only one that you would be able to make any upside on. And most people just want the Founders because the Founders has that mystique. It's like, oh, you have a Founders, and it's assumed it's better. So if you are going to Best Buy and you don't have luck with the Founders, or you want to go to Best Buy because you have a gift card or you have the 10% coupon from your birthday or whatever, then I would personally probably go for the $1,200 model at first. Maybe you can try on the WindForce, but either that one or the other Gigabyte model, it looks like Best Buy is only releasing Gigabyte models and Founders. So, I mean, that could be good, that could be bad, but I would assume Best Buy is going to be heavily botted. And due to Best Buy's return policy, I would frankly assume that anybody who misses out on a 5090 is going to rage buy a 5080 to see if they either want to keep it, can flip it, or whatever or not they're going to do with it, especially since they can just return it. So, Best Buy would probably be the site that I would rank number 3 after Zotac and MSI. Alright guys, so Microcenter, if you want a 5080, I would honestly avoid Microcenter. There are going to be so many people camping for the RTX 5090 that you're going to get stuck in the crossfire, and people who can't get 5090s are just going to get 5080s. So frankly, I would avoid them. Like I said, I really think if there is a 5080 shortage, it's going to be launch day and launch week, and that's it. Unless you want to wait in the cold for like 2 or 3 days, some Microcenters already have 20, 30, 40 people. I'm looking at you, Tungsten. I would just avoid Microcenter altogether, and I wouldn't bother with it, especially if you're looking for a 5080. As far as Amazon, B&H, I would just avoid all of them. B&H is wonky, and they might not even have some launch day, and if they do, their selection is going to be super limited. You can try for them, but I've given up on B&H. Amazon will be botted. I already know people who are literally have Snailbot running right now to try to get 5080s and 5090s. I don't know if Amazon's going to fight them or they're going to cancel their orders or what, but I would assume you're not going to have a shot at Amazon. The one thing I will say about Amazon is once in a while, they do drop at midnight the night before. Like they did that with the 4080 Super. So maybe if you're lucky, you might have a chance that late at night when nobody's looking. So if you really want to make sure you have a shot, I would try to stay up until midnight and see what you can find. And then if you don't see anything by like 12:30, just head to bed. That's really it. I mean, Newegg just gets botted. You blink and it's gone. I've never actually hit on Newegg ever, and I stopped trying a long time ago. So if you have success on Newegg, good for you, but I don't think you have a shot. And as far as all of the old tricks for sites like Best Buy, like with the cell phone and all of that, it's been almost 2 years since we've had a drop that people literally are trying to buy day one. So I honestly have no idea what's going to work and what's not going to work as far as old tips and tricks that worked. So I'm just giving you a generalized guide and the sites I would target first. So if this helped you, please like and subscribe. We're going to have a ton of 5080 and 5090 content. And I'm really excited to share the channel with you. We are exploding. The channel's doing great. And for the first few months at least, I'm going to release daily content on graphics cards. I've already got a few graphics card reviews lined up. We're going to have a lot of PC builds. It's going to be a great channel, and we have a great time at Recruitman Tech. So please hit that like and sub button, and good luck on your search for the 5080. I think it'll be a lot easier than the 5090, but a lot easier than impossible is still hard. But hopefully this video helps. Let me know what you're going to do in the comments down below, and may the force be with you. Peace out.